Good afternoon, everyone. One Life Coaching and Wellness Coach Lori here to say hi to everybody and talk a little bit about nutrition today. I wanted to talk about something because nutrition is obviously one of the hardest things that we have to do, right? And unfortunately, it is 80 to 90%. Whoever you talk to might have a different number, but it's 80 to 90% of how you get your results, how you get that six packs abs or whatever that you might be looking for. That is the biggest portion of it, right? We can work out and work out and work out, but as we know, we cannot outwork out a bad diet. Okay, so that's what causes us anxiety. That's what causes us so much stress. And I think a lot of the anxiety and stress that comes along with nutrition is that I think a lot of times we try to do all or nothing. We say, okay, there is this new diet that is coming around now, and I am going 100% into this diet. I am taking everything out of my cupboards. I'm taking everything out of my refrigerator. I spent hundreds of dollars on this stuff, but it's all going in the trash because it is no good for me. I am never going to eat out again because eating out is too hard on this diet. So eating out is off the table. Drinking is completely off the table because I've got this diet. Everything, eating dessert, spending time with friends, football parties, all of these kind of things are like, nope, 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 no more. I can't do any of that. And if I do, I'm going to go have water and I'm going to have lettuce and I'm going to have celery while everybody else is eating pizza, all of that kind of stuff. And a lot of times we all jump in 100% like that. And we say, we're not going to just change our lifestyle a little bit. We are going to make a drastic change to our lifestyle and how we eat. And we are going to expect that making that huge jump 100 miles an hour is going to last. Okay, and if you know most diets and most things that you've probably tried before, a lot of us have tried before, it's not that the diet doesn't work, right? The diet can totally work because it's literally about calories in based off of calories out. And if you follow a lot of these diets, it has nothing to do with the diet not working. It has to do with the fact that you went 100 miles an hour and said, I'm going to get into this diet right now and I'm going to do everything that I need to do to make this happen. And I'm going to change my lifestyle so fast. And I feel like that is what causes a lot of us to quote unquote fail at that diet, right? We can do it for a little while, but then we think about is this sustainable? Is this my livelihood? Am I never going to want to go to a restaurant again? Am I never going to want to eat that again? Like, am I never, ever, ever going to want to have a piece of bread again in my life? Oh my gosh, that would kill me. I don't know about anybody else, but don't take bread out of my life. Am I never, ever, ever going to be able to have a glass of wine again? Am I never, ever, ever, I'm fine with that, but a lot of us aren't. But am I ever going to be able to have beer again? Am I ever going to be able to eat pizza again? Am I going to be able to go and hang out with my friends if I do this? And again, if you are on a super strict, ran into a 100 miles an hour diet, more than likely the answer is going to be no to that, right? It's going to be no, you can't do that. If you are on this diet, these are the things and these are the steps and these are what you need to do. Okay, so I want to challenge you to think about it a little bit differently. Okay, think about progressing a little bit slower into things and then start thinking about things as habits as opposed to what you cannot have. And this is going to be amazingly helpful for you to do that. Instead of saying, I can't have, I can't have, I can't have, I can't have, you need to start off a little bit like go way, 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 way back and start at the beginning. And when you start at the beginning and you think about how you're eating in general, and just making small changes from that is going to be so beneficial to you. So I want to talk about a few things that I've shared with, several of my clients, and I want to give to you guys as well, to kind of talking about nutrition and the importance of different things. There's something that we call macros, okay? And the macros, some of you know macros, some of you don't. Macros are basically going to be your protein, your carbs, and your fats. Basically everything that your food is made up of, right? So as you know, proteins are going to be the fish, the beef, the chicken, those types of things. You're going to, and also, veggies are going to be thrown in there as well as, good carbs. And then you're going to have your fats, which are going to be animal fats, going to be your olive oils, your things that you use for cooking. Avocados have good fats in there, all that kind of good stuff too. And then you're going to have your carbs, which is going to be, your whole grains, things along those lines that are going to be kind of your carbs. If you focus, and this is what I want some of you to and challenge you to do, and this is what I challenge a lot of my clients to do, is focus on every meal having a protein, a carb, and a fat. So if you focus on breakfast having that, if you focus on your mid-morning snack having that, if you focus on your lunch having that, if you have an afternoon snack, which I'm a snacker, um, yeah, do and make sure that you're having a protein, a carb, and a fat. Don't just grab a thing of crackers, right? That's going to do nothing for you. It's going to sustain you for a little bit to have some crackers, but if you didn't have any protein or a little bit of fat in there, it's not going to sustain you for long. And so it's kind of almost pointless to even have it, right? Because you're just going to want to eat again and you're not giving your body everything that it, kind of needs to sustain. So I really want you to focus on that. That's something that is a little bit smaller, and it's not saying, oh my gosh, I've got to take everything and anything out of my life. It is saying, no, I actually need to start eating. Another thing a lot of us do is we just don't eat, right? We get up at whatever time we get up and we're like, you know what, I'm not hungry till noon or 1 o'clock, and then I'll start eating then or whatever. And you don't really have kind of a routine to your eating. Now, obviously, intermittent fasting is a whole different ball game. So if you're doing that, I'm not talking to you. That's something different that you're probably doing with a doctor or a nutritionist or somebody that is, very skilled with that. So that's not something that we're talking about. What we are talking about is kind of that sustained energy throughout the day, and it's something that's very beneficial to me to keep my metabolism running, to keep it going, and I've seen a lot of success with clients doing this too. So again, I want you to focus on that. Now, at your meals, so your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, I want you to kind of think about your protein. So if you're kind of looking at portion sizes, a lot of times, okay, I'm counting calories, I'm counting this, I'm counting that. That can go crazy right away, right? So why not make it as easy as you can, kind of the first step, and say, you know what? My protein is going to be the size of the palm of my hand. That's so easy. Every time you have a protein, make sure it's around the size of your palm. Obviously, if it's a snack, you're going to cut that in half or a fourth. But at your meal, that's the size that you want your protein. Your fats is going to be about the size of your thumb. So what is that? Like a tablespoon, possibly, of olive oil, something along those lines. And then carbs are going to be the size of your fist. And veggies, you can have as many green leafy vegetables as you want. Just make sure that there's not a lot of carbs in those vegetables. And that's something that, can be discussed earlier. But as long as you're kind of going a little bit greeny on those vegetables, you should be good. So again, these are just kind of some guidelines. Have breakfast, have a healthy snack. Have lunch, have a healthy snack, dinner, and then if you need a healthy snack after that as well, kind of teaching your body to eat, make sure that you are eating. And again, I really think you're going to see a huge change by just seeing, oh my goodness, I am now eating a carb, a protein, and a fat every single time that I eat. I'm feeling more nourished. I'm feeling less hungry throughout the day. I feel more sustained. All of those kind of good things are going to kind of come. And then you can start getting into the nitty gritty a little bit more after that, and we can start focusing on more things. But that is going to be enough challenge in and of itself to kind of start off with, to even make sure, first of all, a lot of us just aren't eating, we're not eating enough. And that is usually one of the biggest factors of not getting the weight loss that you want, not seeing the results that you want, is that there's not eating enough, which is so weird because you're like calories in, calories out. But I promise you it makes sense once you kind of look at the science behind it and all of that kind of good stuff of why we need to nourish our bodies. So I wanted to come to you guys and kind of talk to you a little bit about that. If you want to talk a little bit more about nutrition, I'm more than happy to do that. I am actually super, super excited because I do have a new nutrition challenge that I have coming. It is free to all of my clients, and I am going to offer it out to others. If you are a client of mine, it will be free. And basically what we're going to be doing in that challenge is we are going to be adding on weekly. We're going to say, okay, week 1, this is what we're going to do. Now, week 2, we're going to add something. So again, instead of subtracting, instead of saying I'm taking all of this away, we're going to add something. We're going to add a habit. So it doesn't feel like you're, oh gosh, I'm getting all of this taken away from me. Why aren't we adding habits instead of taking away things? So every week we are going to add one habit per week. And then, so week 1, we have one habit. Week 2, we're going to still continue week one's habit, but then we're going to add another habit onto week 2. And as we go through and as we progress, keep adding habits and keep learning about nutrition and what works for you and what you're starting to see. And what you're going to see is that you're going to be moving slowly into this nutrition world, and it's going to feel better. You're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I have a little bit of control. I can totally do this. I can add one thing onto the equation at a time. And I really am excited about this because I think it's beneficial to know that nutrition isn't all about being on a very extreme, strict diet. This is what we have to do right now, or else. It doesn't have to be that way. And the majority of people that are in fitness or in health are going to tell you that we try not to sit there and stress about our diet and stress about what we're eating as much. We really try to create these habits to where we don't necessarily have to stress as much when it comes down to it. When it comes down to actually eating and what we do, it's just kind of coming out of habit at that point, and it's not stressful, and it's not being a part of, birthday parties and not eating the cake and not eating the pizza, because I can tell you, I do eat the pizza, I do eat the cake. I'm not really a fan of cake, but if it's chocolate, maybe. But we do that. It's just making sure that we have habits in place before we do things like that, so that we can actually go back, to not eating cake every single day or having pizza every single day. So I just wanted to come to you guys and talk to you a little bit about the nutrition, and I'd love to hear from you. Has anybody ever done, the protein, the carb, and the fat every time that they eat? Have you even thought about that? Or do you sometimes just have carbs in the morning? A lot of us do. Can I pick up a bagel? Can I get a donut? Can I have a pastry? You go to Starbucks and get your coffee, and sometimes, it's all got that good creamy sugary stuff in it, and that sustains you, and you think that's great. And that's definitely not going to give you, the protein and all of that stuff that you need to kind of start your day. So think about those things. Think about eating a little bit more often throughout the day. Think about making sure that you are eating, and kind of go from there. And then, like I said, if you guys are interested, I'm more than happy to chat with you more about nutrition. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. It is gorgeous outside. I went for a hike this morning. Everybody should get outside if you can. Have a great day, everyone.